Why rappers are scared of Kendrick Lamar. What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to MANIACITV, man. I saw this video pop up on YouTube as soon as I opened up YouTube, and I figured, you know what? I want to check this out. I want to react to it, man. Listen, this past month, Kendrick Lamar gave us hit after hit after hit. He gave us a club banger for the summer. He's tarnished careers. Kendrick is real life the boogeyman. Now listen, I know it's gonna get real toxic in the comments. I'm sorry. Okay, don't go too hard on your boy. I'm sorry. But we gotta check this out. We gotta call a spade a spade. Kendrick has damn near been untouchable. Untouchable throughout this little ordeal that's been going on this past month or so. So we gonna check this out. It's about 20 minutes long, so let's get right to it, man.
Kendrick Lamar is terrifying to his fellow rappers, not just in the wake of his recent activity, but long before he was ever as battle-tested as he is now. At the minute, hip-hop is basking in the landscape where he destroyed Drake so savagely that his name is now being used as an acronym to warn others.
Don't rap against Kendrick ever.
Drake. Shout out Joe Budden, man. The best podcast out right now. And shout out to Luazida. I hope I said that correct. I know I butchered the name, but shout them out, man. They made this video, so link in the description to this, man. So let's get it. Shout out Joe, though, too.
Yeah.
You didn't sit home with the fucking BlackBerry or the bum composition book and write acronyms for your own fucking name.
But while Drake's defeat at K-Dot's hands has proven exactly why so few have gone at Kendrick over the years, what is it that makes his reputation so fierce in the first place? Well, there's actually a variety of factors that made it clear to the whole world that Kendrick wasn't a man to trifle with. My name is Luesta, and this is why rappers are scared of Kendrick Lamar. There's a lot of angles to tackle why Kendrick has such a reputation for being one of the MCs that you just don't attempt to rhyme against. But one of the main reasons is that the reverence that the culture has for him trickles down to the top of the industry. Co-signed by Dr. Dre and passed the torch to the West Coast by Snoop Dogg, The Game, Corrupt, and every other OG you can think of.
I'ma say this and I'ma mean this. Nigga, you got the torch, nigga, you better run.
Even the legendary Eminem once thought that his pen game couldn't possibly live up to the hype.
The thing with M was crazy to me. He kicks everybody out the studio. I took it as him kicking everybody out to see if that's really you writing them raps.
Oh, listen. I heard that Eminem, he's got a new song coming out Friday. He got a new project on the way. Can you imagine in a friendly competition with bars, who do y'all got, Eminem or K-Dot? Who do you think could out-rap the other, M or K-Dot? Yo, that'd be crazy.
You're right. You
okay, with Eminem known to be upset at rappers who use ghostwriters, that's a pretty fair assumption. But as Ed Sheeran remembered, he soon found out exactly why K-Dot was given so many props by people that he respected.
Eminem, he'd heard that Kendrick Lamar was the best rapper, and he invited him to the studio to get him on a song, and he arrived and Kendrick came with all his mates. And Eminem said, I just want you in the studio, just you on your own.
To test
and then
him.
my engineer's going to come in and then record you doing it, but your mates aren't allowed in. And then Kendrick did it, wrote a sick verse, and then everyone came in to listen to it. And Eminem said he did it to test Kendrick because he thought he had a ghostwriter. And
yo, that's wild. And what's crazy, and this is not a shot at Drake. A lot of these, and I'll consider Drake he's kind of in the pop artist lane. He's a commercial, larger than life type of artist. A lot of those artists have ghostwriters. They have teams of people. Go on Apple Music, you see those credits, man. It's not anything new, nothing against the artist, man, because if a song is a banger, it's a banger. But what M did to test Kendrick to see if he's a true MC, yo, that's wild. On the spot, your homies gotta go. I want to see if you actually like that.
he then realized that he didn't, and then claimed that he was the best.
Ever since the two of them collaborated on Love Game off the Marshall Mathers LP2, Eminem has known that Lamar is among the elites in the game. And in a rare show of vulnerability from Shady, he suggested that he would think twice about coming for Kendrick.
It's the same thing if I getting on the track with Kendrick. I can never tell what the fuck he's gonna do.
Right.
Because he is such a chameleon of styles, and he can fucking do pretty much anything, right? And he's so proficient at it, he's so good at it, and you don't know what you're gonna get. That to me is like a top tier lyricist, because it's like you don't you can get your ass kicked any day.
Besides overshadowing rappers on features, K-Dot never had to square off with other MCs in the same way that Shady had to in his career. But he always insisted that he had it in him to tear a rapper to shreds, even after he became a mainstream star. His entire Section 80 campaign basically revolved around the claim that he would kill your favorite rapper. Then on Damn's Element, he issued a warning that all they had to do was say his name and they'll see Candyman. Then, after winning a Pulitzer Prize, he let his colleagues know what time it was on Rich Spirit, where he told them to stop playing with him before he turns you into a song.
Stop playing with me before I turn into a song.
Now, in the wake of Aubrey's demolition and J. Cole waving the white flag, we know that wasn't an idle threat, as over these past few weeks, he's left massive footprints on their legacies. As they struggle to pick themselves back up, you can imagine that no one will be stepping to Dot anytime soon. But long before everything that followed Kendrick's declaration of "fuck the big three, it's just Big Me" went down, rappers already showed a real reluctance to cross him. In fact, when they let their ego get in the way and spoke out against him, they usually decided to pay homage instead. Because although he had never really been in a battle until Drake thought he could take him on, he already proved how much his presence and the chatter around your career can do with Big Sean. In many ways, Big Sean is pretty much the reason why Kendrick is going at Drake in the first place. By now, we all know about K-Dot's infamous verse on Control, where he hijacked Big Sean's track to let the whole—
And this the man own his own song, man. We don't even talk about Jay Electronica's verse on Control.
Know that even though he had love for them, he was trying to murder them and take their fans. At the same time, Big Sean insisted that he didn't even get bodied on the track, even though he opted to leave it off his Hall of Fame album that it was originally intended to be on.
Shout out Big Sean. I get in so many debates about Big Sean. I think Big Sean is one of the coldest lyricists right now. Y'all, cause I see you laughing. Stop, don't laugh. Don't laugh. I'm serious, man. Big Sean really like that. Big Sean dissed Kendrick. I don't know if y'all remember No More Interviews. That was what, 2017? He dissed Kendrick. He dissed Kendrick, Kid Cudi. Big Sean got bars, man. And I just feel like, like, I don't know. Y'all put some respect on Big Sean's name. I didn't know Control was supposed to be on that album.
But he never really managed to escape its shadow.
I put that work in. Like, you're not going to disrespect me. I hop on any track with anybody, and I will not only stand my own, you're going to know that it's my verse, and you're going to know I'm
That's what I like.
Except for Control. Kendrick watched you on Control.
No, stop it.
Sean, come on now. Come on.
And how long ago was that? What year is this?
That were you right? You got you
okay,
right.
okay.
You're right.
But you can tell Big Sean is a student of the game. He took that personally. But shout out Charlamagne, because he gonna keep it a buck.
And I still don't feel like I got washed anyway.
Nah, you got washed.
He did. He got washed.
See, that's what I'm saying. You can't focus on people's opinions. You know why? Because that's gonna throw you off.
Although he never fully accepted that there was beef, Big Sean did attempt to throw subliminal shots at Dot from time to time. For example, on songs like Me, Myself, and I and No More Interviews, people felt like the Detroit rapper was
not impressed with the whoop-de-whoop. I don't know who is who, and I can pretend like I'm hip to it. No hula hoop. Come on, man. I'm just not impressed by you niggas rapping fast. We sound like one big ass. What he say? Big asthma attack, but trash when I'm rapping it back. Cause you put in your top 5 and claim they the savior of rap. Come on, man. Y'all better stop playing with Big Sean, dog.
At Kendrick's rapping style, but as is often the case, Kendrick never even acknowledged that anything was going down. Then, on the Hard Part 4, he let the world know that he heard what was being said, and that if he kept pushing, Big Sean would get what he thought he wanted.
My fans can't wait for me to sun your punk ass and crush your whole little shit. How big pun your punk ass, you a scared little bitch.
While he never got a formal diss track dedicated to him, Big Sean was informed in no uncertain terms that Kendrick would come at his neck whenever he wanted to. Meanwhile, the Control situation left such a permanent imprint on Big Sean's career that you can almost divide it between the time before that verse and everything that happened after.
No, because Big Sean had hits though. We ain't gonna sit around and act like I Don't Fuck With You the next year wasn't a major fucking song. We ain't gonna sit up here and act like what was the song that he had with Chris Brown, Ty Dolla $ign? Come on, man. He had bangers still after this. Yeah, it kind of dried up, but come on, man. Control was not the end of Sean.
And in a move that has really set the tone for how people come out of the other side of squabbling with Kendrick, Big Sean speaks of him with nothing but admiration now, and basically acts as if there was never a problem in the first place.
The whole Big Sean Kendrick beef was going on. It was something I wish I would have spoke up about because there was nothing. So then I remember going online and seeing like, oh, is he talking about Kendrick? Because I'm talking about people who rap fast. I wasn't beefing with nobody.
Insisting that he didn't want any problems, Big Sean still had to acknowledge that the whole thing has haunted him for years.
And in every verse I do, people be like, oh, is this a response? Is this a response? And I'm like, it's like, damn, I can't even show no aggression. People think it's a damn response. It got to a point where somehow it was just a weird tension between me and him, even though it was already said it wasn't no beef because people made it that way, right?
Although Big
After
Sean
what happened to Nipsey, I reached out to Kendrick. What'd he say? I found out it really wasn't no real issues to begin with. Wrong information, a lack of communication fueled by the egos. Come on, man. Like, I don't know. That would have been interesting to see if Kendrick did respond to Sean.
Sean probably got the raw end of the deal out of control. There was another man on the track who goes by the name of Jay Electronica. And although he was regarded as one of the world's greatest MCs at the time, he didn't escape unscathed either. Basically, Jay Elect didn't appreciate the fact that people were saying Kendrick beat him on the track.
He did.
In fact, he said that Dot was envious of him.
Kendrick will body you. Look, you couldn't pay Kendrick $1 million. Kendrick wouldn't tell you. Kendrick could tell you himself he couldn't body me. Kendrick, look, Kendrick is my son. Kendrick is my baby. Kendrick wishes that he could be me.
Followed up with his verse on The Curse of Mayweather, where he rapped, he got 11 Grammy nominations, y'all not equal, man fuck these white people, which refers to the amount of Grammys Kendrick won at the time. He followed it up with, my grandmother died at 82 scrubbing floors, and rappers still running around begging for awards.
Sound like he
Jay Elect looked like he was practically begging for problems. Then, from out of nowhere, he seemed to have a change of heart and was giving Dot his flowers all of a sudden. Lastly, peace to K-Dot and TDE, because regardless to whom or what, we're brothers fighting the same energy. Forgive my past energy. Although it's unclear what made him switch up like that, Jay, like many rappers, were going to...
Jay-Z told that nigga, yeah, Top totally reached out, little phone call, like, listen, man, Dot headed to the stool. You might want to recant that statement.
Gus was another man who folded on Dot when he was put to the test. For the most part, hip-hop's response to Kendrick's name drops on Control not only laid the groundwork for the Drake beef, but it also set the precedent for how rappers would tiptoe around him. At the time, there were tons of responses to Control, but they all seemed like they were carefully towing the line as to not go too far. For example, after feeling angered that Slaughterhouse were left out of the shoutouts, one of the group's members, Joel Ortiz, responded with the vicious track titled Out of Control, where he let Kendrick have it.
And you the king of New York, little homie, you ain't the king of New York, you the next thing on my fork.
A lot of rappers from New York. I remember the responses. I think Pat Poose put one out. It was so, because when Kendrick did say it was the king of New York, like, he was just taunting them. Bro, you had the whole New York going at him, man, but yeah.
Later on, he would do an interview with Vibe and say that he was actually saluting Kendrick for the most part. After the notoriously fearless Joe Budden, he was hosting a live stream for the response track only to opt out and not release it. Amid responses from Papoose and others, Kendrick remained so calm about the whole thing that it would be impossible for it to not strike fear in their hearts.
How you feeling about all the comebacks lately from your Control verse?
You gotta try harder.
So when they all backed down, it really made the whole culture realize that Lamar was to be treated with respect. Basically, there's always a caveat when it comes to K-Dot slander, rather than anyone really coming for his neck. I mean, just look at what happened to French Montana when he attempted to diss him. Over the years, French has had a few things to say about Kendrick. First off, he claimed that he was being pushed by the industry.
Why you think Kendrick sells more than like street rappers?
Cause they position him like how they did in the Grammys as the new music. Well, I don't feel like that's, you know, it's not that it's not the right thing to do, but I just feel like you see, it's like the whole thing was like Kendrick night.
Then more.
It's the same nigga that needed Drake, Rick Ross, and Lil Wayne on each song to make the top 10 on 106 in Park. Salute to French, but bro, this low key sound like he hating low key. Not even low key, high key hating.
Ridiculously, he said that he had more hits than him, only to be clowned relentlessly by the internet. If we just talking about anthems, me versus Kendrick hit for hit, I believe I can go neck to neck. I've been making hits for a long time. I love Kendrick. That's not just for Kendrick, that's for any...
French got hits. Don't get me wrong, he got hits.
Buddy they put in front of me. However, not everyone agreed with this. I mean, even other rappers hopped on the bandwagon to mock him for it.
Stupid ass nigga say he got more hits than Kendrick Lamar.
I remember the Thug and French thing.
Fool. The man said he got more hits than me and Kendrick. Bro, your junk ass ain't got more hits than no motherfucking Kendrick, and you ain't damn sure ain't got more hits or anthems than me.
That's a fact.
You smoke hard, why you tripping? You're on real dope.
But while he had smoke for Thug and engaged in a war of words with him over it, French Montana never tried to provoke K-Dot any further. And now, just like everyone else, French has since basically apologized for even thinking he could mess with him and said he was just in his feelings at the time.
I was just heated I ain't win a Grammy for Unforgettable.
That's what it was?
Yeah, but Kendrick is my dog. But just that one day at the interview, I was just so heated I ain't win, and he was the winner. I was just like,
clean that up, clean it up.
I fuck with the whole team.
Opting to say that he was in the wrong, rather than say Kendrick had any part in it, this is a rare show of humility for a rapper. And while Cole has been taking all the flack for getting up on that Dreamville Festival stage, and saying that his 7-minute drill diss song towards Kendrick didn't sit right with his spirit and would be deleted off streaming services.
When I listen to it, and when it comes out and I see the talk, that shit don't sit right with my spirit. That shit make me feel, that shit disrupts my fucking peace.
History shows that he's not the first person to make his apologies to Kendrick. And maybe fear of being dismantled on a verse wasn't the only reason. Although his immense talents on the mic are one major factor, French extending his love to Kendrick's whole team is important. Because as these rappers likely learned before going at his neck, messing with Kendrick requires you to go up against an army. And while Kendrick might have been a good kid in a mad city,
TDE, it don't get talked about enough that TDE, bro, when I listen to any of them niggas, I need to have a scholar cap on because they're surgical with those rap bars. And they don't care to have the love of the industry either. Like, they're a tight-knit group.
He's got a whole city behind him. And there's something dangerous about Kendrick that not a lot of people speak about. Growing up in Compton, Kendrick was exposed to the gang lifestyle early on, and many of his best friends were active members. Then, after joining TDE, he suddenly found himself in the midst of the Bounty Hunter Bloods and Hoover Crips as he teamed up with fellow label mates Schoolboy Q and J-Rock, as well as a whole host of other people who were repping sets. Recently, Kendrick's gang ties have come under the microscope again, because if the rumors are true, Cole might have received a tip to back off from the beef that sounds not too dissimilar to what you'd see on the streets from Schoolboy Q. Reporting from Dreamville Festival, an unnamed source revealed that it was actually Schoolboy Q who allegedly warned J. Cole to stop beefing with Kendrick before the apology.
I never heard of this.
Not specifying what kind of warning, whether it was a bullying move, a Debo-like maneuver, or just a friendly heads up. I don't think it matters at this point, but based on what Punch, TDE's president, said, I think they gave him what he needed to hear to bow out of the battle with as much grace as possible.
Okay. First off, salute Schoolboy Q. I don't think Schoolboy Q will be on some bullying shit. I feel like if he did approach Cole about this, he was probably more so like listen, I don't think, okay, this is what I feel like happened. I feel like somebody from TDE, didn't have to be Schoolboy, they hit J. Cole up like, listen, Kendrick's not trying to like dismantle you like this. Friendly competition, yes, he could do that, but Kendrick really hate this nigga Drake. And what Kendrick's about to release on Drake, pause, it's not going to be pretty. So we could probably revisit this between you and Kendrick at another time, but you might want to sit this one out because it's about to get personal. I feel like they knew Kendrick hates Drake. I don't think Kendrick hates J. Cole. So we can just we can be brothers, take friendly shots here and there, but Kendrick's ready to dismantle Drake at this point. So maybe that's why Cole backed out. That's just my opinion.
Whether he was letting him know what kind of heat K-Dot had in store for Drake with the abuse allegations, or telling him to ease up before things got dangerous, this whole situation proves that whatever Kendrick is getting involved in, the streets he grew up on have his back. In terms of gangs, Kendrick has long been rumored to have connections to the West Side Pirates. In addition to his affiliation to the red side of the city, Kendrick also has uncles who are Crips, several of which have served lengthy jail terms for gang-related activity and armed robbery, and he's still locked in with them to this very day.
Does the crew come out every time you come to Compton?
Yeah.
As a result of his connections, as well as old pictures of Kendrick dressed in red, Drake's recent assessment that he isn't affiliated to a set on his new track Family Matters has been ridiculed by people from Compton, while at the same time respecting Kendrick's desire to withhold that from becoming a big part.
But the thing is, I don't even think Kendrick give a damn about showing off that he affiliated. Like, Kendrick don't care about that. He just know he got niggas that's, you know, if shit get ugly. Kendrick ain't that type of dude. He don't take me as that type of dude to be like, oh, I'm affiliated. I know Bloods. I know Crips. Like, Kendrick, he not like he ain't gonna say any of that. Like, if you know, you know. It's that type of situation.
If his identity.
Drake says you don't bang a set, and he says the game bangs a set, even Chris Brown bangs a set.
He just don't know Kendrick.
That's what I'm saying. Like has Kendrick renounced his
affiliation at a certain point? Kendrick just don't be private and so like priding himself off of his gang culture. So I guess people think that he a non-affiliate.
Yeah.
I don't know if we posted, but you know, hey.
But obviously, like the fact is Kendrick severely downplays gang affiliations.
The push-ups was in his hood, wasn't they? The push-ups that you talk about, they at the park.
Once again, the clues for Cali having his back have all been there in the music. On Section 80's Poe Man Dreams, Kendrick has a line where he says,
The city got my back, before that I gave them my torso. You think about it.
Basically, what he's saying here is that he can say things with his chest because he knows that he has the city behind him. And when you look close at those videos of Not Like Us going off in the club, he should definitely feel more confident in that than ever. But while this could be taken literally for the whole state of California, that line may contain allusions to his gang ties. In an interview from back in the day, Snoop Dogg went into more detail about this.
It's just that he's a nice guy, so they have a problem with it because he doesn't have a gangster approach. But let me let y'all know, he got 100,000 motherfucking gangsters with him. So y'all better watch what y'all say. You understand what I'm saying? Keep it hip-hop, because that's what he did. He kept it all hip-hop.
In spite of the fact that Kendrick hasn't ever definitively said he was a gangbanger, what we do know is that there are times in his life where he moved like one. Back in the day, Dot tried to intimidate AD of the No Jumper podcast and Back on Fig because Kendrick thought he was from a rival neighborhood.
Hey, you want to know a crazy thing about Kendrick, bro? My first encounter with him, he thought I was somebody else, bro. He low-key tried to press me.
Who?
Kendrick Lamar.
Who do you think you were? Gorilla
He
Black?
from a different hood. I guess some niggas jumped him back in the day. And I came to the studio and he was mad. He was like, hey, you from Almond Block? And I was like, nah, but he was hot.
You banged on him back?
Where's Almond Block?
No, Almond Block is another hood in Compton. And I was like, nah, I ain't from Almond Block.
He thought you were lying.
And he was like, you is from Almond Block. I'm like, nah, I ain't from Almond Block.
Damn.
He was like, all right. And then we was cool after that.
But
he
he
was
say,
mad
all
though.
right.
No, he was mad. Yeah, he was.
That's wild.
He was mad. If I was from Almond Block, he would have got his get back on me that day.
From the gang members which regularly appear in his music videos, the musical appears like mustard, proving that they'll throw away any other relationship to ride for his Cali comrade. Dot's status as king of the West Coast, and everything that entails it, would make anyone think twice before coming at him. But while there was speculation that Kendrick wasn't to be taken lightly, it's safe to say that this Drake battle has made that crystal clear. Although OVO stands like Maul or academics may argue otherwise, there's no denying that Kendrick washed Drake. Bearing the music itself, the fact that he overthrew Drake's record for the highest streams for a rap song in a day with a track where he calls him a sex offender, it's just diabolical.
Wild.
Now, fans are waking up to the fact that he just wasn't to be messed with. I knew Kendrick Lamar was a dude that needed to be left alone when that video of him doing burpees in a parking lot while listening to oldies dropped. Something is clearly wrong with him. Look at this fucking psychopath.
Nah, for real, this video's wild. This is somebody.
His willingness to take a rapper out aside, what's happening to Drizzy these days further explains to why he wasn't challenged before now. Because while people have been throwing jabs at Drake for years, it doesn't matter if they don't hit the general public. But with Kendrick, you have a rare mix of someone who isn't just obscenely skilled, but also has the platform to slander you and reach huge audiences. It's the fear of embarrassment. He's a better rapper than almost everyone in the industry skill-wise. He can do both mainstream and underground style music when most artists just choose one and never change. Because he can immortalize you in a negative light in the form of a classic hit. If you needed proof that this is a real thing, just look at this school teacher's comments about the change in tone around Drake in the wake of Not Like Us dropping.
I, up until today, taught at a very Drake-centric high school. Rich Baby Daddy is the most frequently requested song to put on my class playlist. If I ask students what they're listening to in their headphones, Drake. The week after the leak was a nightmare. But today I walk in and I can feel that there has been a tectonic shift. Oh my God. This is a Kendrick school now. I polled my classes on what they thought, and they were ready to throw down for Kendrick. I had like one Drake defender in each class, if that.
But you know what's so crazy? Kendrick, I feel like if he wanted to, I mean, Kendrick is just as big of an artist as Drake. The difference is we see Drake all the time. We hear from Drake occasionally. Kendrick could disappear for a few years. But what Kendrick has showed us this last month is if he wanted to, Kendrick would probably, what he said, what he mean, like, there ain't no big three, it's just big me, like Kendrick said, literally. If I wanted to, I would wash both of you niggas. Bro, and this is, I should have said this at the start of the video. I listen to Drake way more than I listen to Kendrick Lamar. I'm not going to sit here and act like I've been #1 fan of Kendrick, but we got to look at the facts, man. Kendrick washed Drake. He washed Drake, man. Not everybody, hey, listen, I don't care. Everybody ain't going to agree with me, but y'all can't tell me, you can't sit up here and say that Drake released anything throughout this diss with him and Kendrick, this back and forth, that's bigger than Not Like Us. Not Like Us was the nail in the coffin.
Honestly, I feel bad for them.
Please, I dare one of you niggas. Shout out Kendrick, man. You know, real student of the game. That's what sets Kendrick apart from all these other rappers, man. Listen, anybody can make a hit, but Kendrick's approach is just different. And I said this before, Kendrick is at peace right now. He is at peace. And that when somebody is at peace and 100% sure of themselves and their character and unbothered, do not mess with them, because they will not hold back. And that was evident with Kendrick and Drake. Now, don't get me wrong. Drake is still a huge artist. He's still going to give us the anthems. But damn it, this tarnished Drake. This hurt Drake. And Drake taught us anything, man. That's why rappers are scared of Kendrick. Because Kendrick just don't give a damn. And he is always ready, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this, man. While rappers are scared of Kendrick Lamar. Link down below in the description leads y'all right to this channel for y'all to check this video out in its entirety with no interruptions, man. Very well put together video. I actually enjoyed this. He took his time on this. Shout out Luzada. Hope I said that correct. I know I keep messing it up. New to the channel, hit that subscribe button for me. To the next video, I'll see y'all then. Thank you for watching MANIACITV. I'm out.